In 2012, Eike Batista reached the status of the seventh richest man in the world, amassing a fortune that hovered around $34.5 billion. Until recently, he represented the archetype of a successful entrepreneur in Brazil. His ability to transform businesses and his charisma attracted billion-dollar investments for his ambitious infrastructure ventures. In just a few years, Batista built a vast conglomerate with investments in sectors like oil, mining, energy, shipbuilding, ports, hospitality, and even gastronomy. However, a crisis in his main company triggered a ripple effect that hit other parts of the group. Today, we revisit the meteoric rise and fall of Eike Batista, son of Eliezer Batista, a respected engineer who played a fundamental role in transforming Vale do Rio Doce into a mining giant. Eike Batista was born on November 3, 1956, in Governador Valadares, Minas Gerais. Raised in Rio de Janeiro, he moved with his family to Frankfurt, Germany, when he was 12 years old. His parents returned to Brazil years later, but Eike chose to stay in Europe. Later, he moved to Brussels, where he studied metallurgy. His career began modestly, selling insurance policies door to door. During this time, he improved his English, learned French, and mastered German, a language he spoke at home. At 23, Eike decided to venture into the mining sector. He borrowed $500,000 and returned to Brazil, investing in a gold mine in the Amazon. Within a year and a half, he turned that investment into $6 million, marking the beginning of a remarkable, though unstable, trajectory. Eike's first major milestone came in 2006 with the IPO of EBX, his mining company. In the following years, he expanded his empire with new IPOs, such as MPX, focused on energy, and OGX, his oil company, which raised 6.6 billion reais, a record on the Brazilian stock exchange. From then on, Eike became the center of attention. His ambition was to create a conglomerate that could rival Brazil's largest companies. This is where the references to a mini Petrobras and a mini Vale come in. Petrobras, Brazil's state-controlled oil company, is one of the largest and most important oil firms globally, known for its dominance in oil exploration and production. Eike envisioned OGX, his oil company, to grow into a smaller version of Petrobras, replicating its business model and eventually playing a significant role in Brazil's energy sector. Similarly, Vale is the world's largest producer of iron ore and a leader in global mining. Eike aspired for his mining ventures under EBX to develop into a mini Vale, capitalizing on Brazil's vast natural resources. These comparisons weren't mere metaphors. They were a reflection of Eike's vision to dominate the oil and mining sectors, much like Petrobras and Vale had done for decades. Eike didn't stop there. He even sought to establish a company akin to Embraer, Brazil's renowned aerospace giant, but focused on the naval sector. His goal was to integrate his various companies, ranging from shipbuilding to energy production, and create a self-sustaining network of businesses that would rival the most significant players in their industries. With this strategy of integrating his companies, his net worth reached $35 billion in 2012, making him the richest Brazilian and the seventh wealthiest person on the planet. On June 25, 2012, OGX shocked the market by announcing that its oil production was only half of what had been forecasted. The reaction was immediate, and within 48 hours, the company's shares plummeted 40%. In the following months, OGX continued to suffer losses, and in 2013, it ceased operations in the only oil field it had in activity. With a debt of $3.6 billion, OGX filed for bankruptcy protection, forcing Eike to liquidate his main assets. Moreover, he was arrested twice as part of the Lava Jato operation, accused of corruption and money laundering. His fortune shrank drastically, and he began relying on smaller sources of income, such as leasing the OSX shipyard. Today, Eike Batista lives in a mansion in Jardim Botanico, Rio de Janeiro, and works as a business coach. Although he has lost the prestige he once had, he seems far from facing serious financial problems. So, did you enjoy learning more about the rise and fall of Eike Batista? Comment below your thoughts on this story and whether you believe he can make a comeback.